Amazing. So our next speaker, again, since I'm on the flow here, and this is really important, our next speaker, Miss Luiza. Would you like to come up here, actually? So Luiza, yes, standing ovation. Let's do it. How good is this? Enjoy it. Look at it. It is a beautiful view. It is. So Luiza, my beautiful partner here, she has been such a massive help. Like, you've got no idea how much organization goes into these events behind the scenes. Standing up here, get all the credit. Sure, awesome, amazing. But a lot of it comes behind the scenes, and this is Luiza that brings it all together. Tonight is her final night here with us. We're going to be handing the reins over to another support person. She's going back to Europe on Sunday. So we're going to give it all for Luiza in her final round and rock out. Let's give it up for Luiza. The stage is yours. I'm going to take your seat.
Thank you, baby. Oh, maybe Daniel. Okay. Thank you very much for being here. On the topic of self-acknowledgements, I would like to share a story with you. When I was around 16, 17, I pursued my first dream. And it was to learn German, move to Germany, and start studying communications. Let me tell you, German is freaking tough. But I committed to the journey, and I told to myself I'm gonna do it. So, my summers I spent in the capital, not in the small town I'm from, to have intense language courses. And during school weeks, I would wake up on Saturdays at 4 a.m., take a bus for 3 hours, have 6 hours of German, to take the bus for another 3 hours to go back home. And I did it. In 1 year and a half, I got my certificate that I spoke German. So when I was 19, my dream came true. I moved to Germany, and I actually got accepted in one of the best universities for media in Germany. So I had the certificate, I had the paper. However, my German was not good enough. It was very far away from what it was supposed to be for studying communications. So I'm a bit of a perfectionist, and I decided that since I don't want to do any mistakes, I'm just not going to speak. Which led to the thought of my co-students that I was stupid. I was pretty face, no brains, typical Eastern European stereotype. Throughout my whole student time, I worked as a waitress, and I was improving my German skills. And even though I was completely insecure with this strong Eastern European accent, I landed my dream internship in a huge corporation in the headquarters of the PR department. Very proud. And my students, that was a sign for them, they thought, maybe she's not that stupid. My journey continued. I continued to improve my language skills, and I was getting better and better in German, and I landed my first corporate job as a junior marketing manager. And I landed my second job. Wow. I know, I landed my second job. And it was, I know, and it was a big thing. However, I achieved the stage where I was like, okay, I'm living in this country. I've been proving myself the whole time with my broken accent, having to constantly show that I'm good enough, that I know the skills and I have the skills. And even though if I'm not a native speaker, I'm not stupid. I can still do the work, even when I'm doing mistakes. So I left Germany. I just had enough of having to be the foreigner with the accent. And I moved to Bali. I started my digital nomad journey. And guess what? I was still manager for a German corporation. And this time, I was the head of marketing. So one day, I'm sitting in beautiful Bali, living my dream life, and I had to recruit my first employee. A pretty big deal. So I'm having this interview, and I'm interviewing a Bulgarian girl who happened to study in the same university, in the same major as I did. With this broken German, full of mistakes, trying to tell me how motivated she was to land the job, and how she would do anything and learn any skill she needs to get the job. And then it hit me. It hit me pretty bad. That was me. That was me a couple of years ago trying to land my first internship. I could barely finish the interview, by the way, and when I did, I just bursted in tears because it was just very emotional, and I cried for hours, actually, to be honest with you. because this was my moment of realization that I never took some time to actually look back through the journey, what I've been through. I was so busy, constantly having to work my way up and proving myself that I'm good enough, that I never sat down to self-acknowledge myself. To tell myself, Luiza, you've done so well. You're living your dream life in Bali, and you're having it. You've actually achieved what you worked towards. And this was the wake-up moment for me of the topic of self-acknowledgement. So now I take myself the time to sit down and look and say, wow, good job. So what I want to give you tonight is that I would really love to ask you to sit tomorrow, the next week, whenever you have the time, to actually sit with yourself, to look back through all the hard work you've put throughout the years. Give yourself a shoulder tap and say, I'm so proud of what you've achieved. Thank you so much.
Nice. How good is that time? Amazing. Love the theme of self-acknowledgements. Such good timing, right? That was like right on point. Well done. Is the microphone turned on? Yeah. Awesome. I was going to say something and totally forgot. Oh, yes, it was this. Who has already arrived many times over in their life? Anyone actually arrived already? It's a bit of a trick question. Do we ever arrive? Or are we arriving in every moment that we move down? Because I think that's what self-acknowledgements is, isn't it? Would you like to share?
Always arriving, maybe late, but we need it.
Yeah. We're arriving late when it's raining. Got it. But isn't it so great? Like, if we really take that story, what Luiza just shared, sit down and realize, wow, we're already living like more than the dream that we probably imagined just a couple of years ago. Anyone resonate with that? There we go. So in a way, that's two hands. I love it. And a foot. Yeah. So we're always already arriving. Does that mean that when we arrive, we just sit back and do nothing? Of course not. We can move ahead and continue down the pathway. But acknowledging how far we've come, so then it fuels us with that motivation, the drive for the next thing, to continue on the path. So well done. Really well done.